too.
I don't get tired of it. Oh, hi!
He's just talking.
He
doesn't even need a camera or a microphone anymore.
We have Garrett.
Sits in a room by himself.
I don't need, you know what? I honestly don't need anything else to entertain me other than my mind. No, I was just, there's a gentleman behind the camera. His name is Garrett, and Garrett is also one of our graphic artist designers. And anyway, he's on the creative team, but he's multi-talented, Garrett. And he's the one who did the opening credits, and I just was telling him how I enjoy them. I
think it's awesome.
Makes me smile whenever I see it. So thanks again, Garrett. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, and welcome to Mornings with Luann and Tim.
Week off next week.
You're going on vacation.
Cha!
It's going to be Mornings with Riley and Tim next week, which is...
Some young blood.
Yes.
Somebody who has got some oomph and some energy.
As opposed to you. Look at her. Someone who's got some oomph and some energy.
Someone who's young and cute.
You do pretty well for an old broad.
For an old broad, I'm all right.
Yeah, I think you're a lot of all right.
Well, you know
I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss you when you walk. I'm going to miss you while you talk. I'm going to miss you, Luann, when you're gone. I thought we had established yesterday that I should no longer sing. Where are you going, Lulu?
Well, we're going to Toronto for a little bit.
Because why? Because you're going to go shopping for wedding gowns for your daughter? How fun is that?
Yes. Yeah. And then we're going to...
Is Jim going too, or is this...
Yeah. Nice. So all the boys are hanging out and all the girls are hanging out.
So Toronto for the wedding gown shopping excursion?
And then back home, maybe for like an overnighter. Espanoodle. We'll stop and check in on Moms and make sure she's okay.
Love it.
And then maybe go to Petoskey, because we got engaged in Petoskey and we just had our anniversary. So we try to get away always to Petoskey. And he takes me to this little dive of a motel.
Well, you know,
like must.
If the shoe fits.
Awesome.
What? How many years married?
17.
Wow.
Right?
Keith and I are like 10.
I thought you were 11.
We lie a lot.
Oh.
We don't really know how many years together we are. Not. Well, no, it's whenever my dog died. That's our anniversary. Was the death of Peanut.
That's a lovely reminder.
Yes, and remember I was talking yesterday about the stalking stories. The lady who discovered her husband put a fake a camera behind a fake outlet in their bedroom.
I know what you're gonna talk about.
I got a text message this morning that I didn't see. It was from last night at 11:45 in the morning. I didn't see it till this morning when I came into work, and the text message was, "Hi, honey, I don't see the car in our driveway. Where are you?" He's in Sudbury, and he's watching our house on his cell phone and laptop from Sudbury because he installed 7 video cameras around our perimeter of our home, so he can now see where I am and what I'm doing.
Tell him about the dog.
About the dog. Okay, so this is 2 days ago. We have a husky. Her name is Anika, and she is more Keith's dog than my dog.
Gorgeous.
And she has a habit now when he goes away that when I put her out, she goes and she sits by the gate and she rests her chin on the bottom of the gate and she just stares and waits for Daddy to come home. So the other evening, I get a text from Keith that says, "My dog has been out by the gate for a long time now. Can you please let her in? She looks sad." From Sudbury.
I think that's so awesome.
So I said, now that I know that you're watching me, I'm going to run around the house naked.
Yeah.
But the other problem is now I have to make my boyfriends dress up like delivery boys.
Yes, that's what I said. I said, just tell Keith.
Just tell Keith I spent the night at my boyfriend's house.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not home, honey. At my boyfriend's.
I'm not home.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Actually, you know what? That would be awesome. I mean, not that.
Not being stalked by your boyfriend in Sudbury?
That option, like for grandkids and stuff, I'm thinking. Like for somebody who's, obviously there's Skype and stuff like that. But you know what? If you want to watch your grandkid just
play in the yard.
Take their first step, for instance.
Use a security camera.
Yeah, call Keith. He knows the ins and outs, apparently.
It is. You know what? I got to tell you, though, if I put my dogs in the yard, I can, with the cameras, they've got 3 cameras in the yard, every angle. So I can go on my phone and I can just see if my dogs are okay.
See, that's awesome. I think that's a good thing.
I can dog sit from
You have an
from
Anika
a distance. I have an Anika hair.
Yeah, now you're done.
Anyway, hi. So you have some news to share with us?
I do. Oprah, man,
she's gone stumping.
The Oprah effect.
Is it?
You know what?
Stacey Abrams.
Gosh, I love that woman. Seriously.
Remind me which state Stacey Abrams is campaigning
I forget. But she's campaigning for governor.
For governor in one of those states where...
So Oprah is actually knocking on doors to endorse Stacey Abrams. And people are, can you imagine? Like freaking out. Oprah's stumping for this woman. And then she made a speech at an event, and she said, she is so brilliant with her words. She said, if any of you have any ancestors that were not allowed to vote and you don't vote, you are dishonoring your family.
There's Stacey Abrams.
Boom!
That's the lady that was running for governor that was helping out.
What an Oprah.
I heard Stacey Abrams speak the other night, and I was blown away. She's phenomenal.
I hope she gets it.
Oprah also quoted Maya Angelou, as she often does, saying, here's not a direct quote, but something along the lines of, you've paid for your crown, now put it on your head and wear it proudly. And that was referring to your right to vote.
That's awesome. And you know what? Maya Angelou was a huge mentor, almost like second mother type to Oprah. And because of that, I've read everything she's ever written.
Oh, have you?
Maya Angelou is deep. These people are deep. I'm about that deep. They're like, they got souls and everything.
Luann is shallow.
I'm a shallow person.
I know, but you're easy to figure out, so that's all right. Not a lot to you.
Except there's a little girth.
Hey,
there.
Can we talk a little bit about... Stop it. You're lovely. Can we talk about cannabis?
Yes.
Like nobody else I know. Okay, there's lots of... Okay, so first of all, when you're crossing the border, it's back in the news again.
Oh, my gosh.
What do you do? What do you do? What do you say when they ask you at U.S. Customs, have you smoked recreational marijuana? If you admit to smoking recreational marijuana... cannabis, before it was legal, you can still get banned for life from the U.S. Just by saying, yes, I did smoke cannabis before it was legal, see ya, they can ban you for life. If you say that you smoked it since it became legal, they can say, okay, now you have to prove to us that you're not an addict. So then they can make you go and see a doctor, there's certain doctors that I guess are registered by customs, whatever.
Yeah.
You'd have to make an appointment, you'd have to see the doctor, and then they would have to report back to U.S. Customs as to whether or not they have diagnosed you as having an addiction or an issue with substance misuse.
So you know what, in essence, you are not getting across that bridge to get your gas and your milk, because if you say yes...
If you say yes that you used before, you're busted. If you say yes you used, but since it's legal, and it's so gray. This one lawyer, I think his name was Henry Chang, from Toronto. He was saying, don't lie. So, and if you tell them that you tried it once since it became legal, it was a one-off. You just bought a little bit.
They can still do it.
He said they might let you through if you just say, I just tried it since it became legal. I've never used it before. I just tried it once. He said they might let you in. But the bottom line is that even if you say you used it legally, they can actually turn you back and make you get a doctor's note. The other thing...
Chang says lie, don't lie. I say lie. Just go there and lie.
Delay. He says delay. You have the right to say, I'm not going to answer that question. I don't know why you're asking me. I don't see the relevance. I'm not going to answer you.
And then he can turn you around.
But they can't charge you. They can't. If you do not admit to using or smoking or ingesting, they cannot bar your entry. They can't ban you, rather. They can bar your entry, but they can't ban you. So you might get turned around and then go back and take your chances and find another guard who doesn't ask you the question. And then also, if you want to get a waiver, let's say you're now 50 years old and you had when you were 18, you got busted for having a joint at the border or something.
You can't cross, right?
You can't cross, you're banned for life. However, you can apply for,
a pardon?
Yeah. It's 1,500 Canadian dollars to get the paperwork started. And that waiver, it's a waiver, that waiver doesn't have an expiration date. They can cancel anytime they want and make you reapply.
Yep.
And now...
Sounds a bit like a racket, no?
Now what about in Quebec, Luann?
What?
Well, you can't sell merchandise that has any kind of cannabis symbol on it.
Well, like cigarettes.
But they could, for the quote from the guy that has a head shop says, we really didn't think that come legalization day, products that we've been selling for the last 30 years would all of a sudden become illegal. Now that cannabis is legal, they're not allowed to, only the certain retailers are allowed to market the cannabis and the products and the paraphernalia. So these head shops are not being allowed to sell, even if it has the word blunt or 420 on it, they're even calling it, he said there's no line. There's
what about spliff? What if they got a jar
that one of your favorite words?
on it?
I lost the ball, but it's cool. It's all cool. Oh, there's a dog in him. That's
He's all
funny,
cool,
Michael.
man. He's in
Anyway,
Hartfield.
and there's a guy that owns a craft brewery in Quebec. He's got cannabis flavored beer. He went through all the proper channels to find out this will not get you high. It's just cannabis flavored beer. It's a craft beer. He thought it'd be unique, okay? It's in Montreal. Saint Bock is the name of the brewery. He's got labels with the leaf on his beer bottles. He can't sell them. He's got $400,000 worth of beer that he can't sell unless he relabels it. Even though the beer doesn't have it's not illegal.
Wow. So the government's
This is in
regulating
Canada.
it. Because it's legal, the government is regulating it, obviously. Very strict regulations. And because they haven't really given us a decision as to, exactly what is happening with
So many
regards
gray
to
areas.
these regulations, these kinds of things are popping up that nobody's ever thought of.
He says this-
in my mind.
The craft brewery guy says a person could come in his bar and legally roll a joint, because you can have 30 grams?
30
on your-
grams.
A person could come in and roll a joint
Yeah.
in his bar. He has smoke it there. They could roll a joint in
Yeah.
his bar, but he can't sell
He can't
a craft
sell.
beer that's flavored with cannabis.
Or labeled.
Labeled with cannabis, yeah.
Maybe
Anyway.
he has to figure out a new label. Who's on the show today?
On the show today, we have the PUC is in to talk about
Awesome.
some great deals that are going on for us to help us save money. And also, I have coming, it's a taped
Humane
interview.
Society
Humane
is
Society is
coming
here
in?
today. And right here is in front of me. Northern Curves of Steel is the calendar. It's Women in the Wind is the name of a motorcycle
Awesome.
club. And we have a branch called Northern Curves of Steel. And as a fundraiser for the Pediatric Arch Wing, they're selling calendars. Being interviewed on the show today.
Awesome. So
and
stay
the
with
news.
us because, well, we're going to have news and we're going to be back mornings with Luann and Tim right after this.
Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim, and joining me now is Rob Brewer. Hi, Rob.
How you doing, Tim?
I'm well. Welcome to ONNtv. Thanks for coming in to talk to us. Rob is the new as of January of 2018,
Correct.
the new president and CEO of PUC Services. Now, I was talking a little bit about your background, and kind of interesting. You grew up in Southern Ontario for a while.
I did, yeah. I grew up in Oakville and Kingston.
Yeah.
Went to University at McMaster in Hamilton.
Did you?
And during those years, came up to the north in the summers.
Oh,
And,
you spent summers up here.
I did. I used
didn't
to
know
actually
that part.
plant trees when I was in university.
My sisters did that too.
Yeah,
They went to the
yeah.
different parks and stuff and planted trees and things. Where did you plant?
I was, I was out of both Wawa, so Duberville. I was in Chapleau. I was up in Fort Francis. And
Wow.
Hoboken, and, yeah,
And then, not only did you plant trees in Wawa, you planted some roots in Wawa.
I did.
I'm sorry about the puns. They'll keep coming though. So you went to Wawa originally. Why Wawa?
Well, that's where the business that at the time I was working for was located, and we ended up.
What did that business do?
It was in forestry.
Forestry?
Yeah,
Okay.
so both the tree planting side and some traditional forestry as well. So
So you planted trees for the summers up here, but then you actually ended up moving to Wawa for a full-time position.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Then you got the idea of actually creating a new division for that company.
yeah, so what we looked at was the traditional forestry market was struggling, as most people are aware in
Right.
Northern Ontario. It's been a struggle. So the thought was we should look at more utility forestry, which seemed like a more stable sort of stable revenue stream. So
Right.
started into that, and it grew like gangbusters since. So.
And so then you went from cutting trees down around power lines and railroads to actually taking charge of an entire power company.
Yeah, that's right. As of January, I made the transition from being basically owning and operating a contracting business to running the local utility.
Were you already living in Sault Ste. Marie then when you
Yeah.
got the position with the PUC?
I've been here since '03.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
You and your wife and how many kids?
We have 7. Yeah.
I said that's a big family tree. See, I keep doing it. I can't help it. I wonder what your PUC bills are like with 7 children. My gosh, which is why you're probably really in tune with what people need and want when it comes to cost savings.
Well, I think we're all aware that when we look at our monthly expenditures, certainly hydro is a big part of it.
It is.
So we've taken a number of initiatives to do what we can, and I say what we can because PUC really controls about 20 or 25% of your bill. The rest of it is a provincial cost.
All provincial costs.
So we've done what we can, and we continue to do what we can to try to manage that 20 or 25% as best as we can. And we're looking for innovative solutions to save both on the provincial portion and on our portion.
And you're also looking at households and businesses. So both sort of industrial and for just the regular guys like me.
That's right. And both are important, right? Because the more competitive we can make hydro pricing for businesses, the more businesses want to locate in Sault Ste. Marie.
Right.
And that's good for all of us.
That is. So we're going to do a two-parter, you and I, today. We're going to start talking about how we're helping the average household owner in Sault Ste. Marie. Did I say we? I'm partnering now with the PUC. No, some of the initiatives you have going to help out the average homeowner. Okay. And then on our second installment, which we're going to air at a different time, we're going to talk a little bit more about what you're doing for the industrial sector that also will impact local economy and our bank accounts as well as the average Joe. So let's start a little bit about now. We're talking, first of all, what's the name of this? There's a fund you told me about.
So it's called the Affordability Fund Trust.
Affordability Fund Trust, otherwise known as the AFT.
Correct. And the provincial government set that up. They funded it with $100 million.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of money. And we're hoping that we can convince the people of Sault Ste. Marie to apply for it so that as much of that $100 million as possible actually ends up here.
So that's a whole bunch of money that's sitting there waiting for people to access.
It is. And it seems really odd, but this is actually for people who traditionally haven't been able to get government programs. So the people that have normally received subsidies, they'll continue to receive subsidies.
So you're still going to be helping out people who are lower income and seniors. Yep. But in addition to that, this program...
Yeah, so the government set aside $100 million for basically the majority of Ontarians to benefit from some efficiency savings. And there's 3 different levels that people can apply for, and it's based on, the more you can afford, the lower the level that you'll apply for. But you generally will get something. It starts out with things like free LED bulbs and free power bars and ways of managing and suggestions on how to manage your home efficiency. The second stage, which we found a lot of people actually do qualify for because it's a fairly generous program, but ends up with free fridges and free stoves and other free appliances.
Come on.
Yeah.
What? How? What do I do? How do I do this? I want it.
It's a matter of simply going, if you go to affordabilityfundtrust.org on the website, you can put an application on the website. Or you can give us affordabilityfundtrust.org, or give us a call at the PUC. We'll walk you through it. We'll do everything we can to help you.
Okay, Mike, this is a reminder. We want to put that up on the screen because that's important. That trust fund, it's a website.
Yeah.
Or just kind of get a hold of the PUC. So we talked about level 1 is power bars, light bulbs. Level 2 is appliances.
Yeah, appliances.
Level 3?
Level 3 is if you've got electric heat, then there's an opportunity for you to have a home assessment, and they will come up with the ways that you can increase efficiency, which including funding things like us putting in insulation or contractors doing insulation, improving some of the structure of the home in order to benefit your efficiencies, things like your HVAC systems. It's a heck of a program, and we believe it or not, I think it's almost too good because most of the response that we get from people is that can't be possible. But we assure you it is.
People are saying, "Oh, I won't qualify for that. I make too much money." And you're saying, "Well, wait a minute. If you're just an average income family, then no, you're okay. You do qualify."
It is for the average family.
And you go to buy a house and you find out that it's got electric heat, and for so many people that's an automatic, because the house may be less expensive, but you're looking at these bills, right? But with this program, it's not necessarily going to be the case because we can't all afford to lift our houses up and put a new foundation down rather than being on a cement pad. We can't all afford to have ductwork installed. Maybe there's not enough room for that to happen. So this program actually looks at ways that you can actually deal with that electric heat issue and reduce the bills.
Correct. And it's free for the majority of Ontarians. So we would encourage people to simply apply. The premise on it is I think that everybody is struggling with hydro bills in general.
Yes.
And this is a way for the government through the PUC to help. And what a program!
I got to say something though. I like to give credit where credit is due. My PUC bills at one time were going up in the $200 range. They haven't been that way for I don't even know the last time that my bill was up. My bill has come down at least $60 a month. So I don't know, maybe I'm doing things better, but I also think that there's been some assistance from the finances.
Well, there has. I mean, the government did announce a program where residential bills on the energy cost perspective went down about 25%.
And now we're looking at other efficiencies that can bring those costs down.
So we've seen that. We've also seen that I think there's an awareness out there that we can in fact have an impact on those bills by doing things like changing bulbs out with LED bulbs.
Yes.
I mean, it makes a big impact.
I also only do my laundry and stuff after 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah, and you know what? As do I. You know, I think we all.
I can't even imagine how much laundry you do at your house with 7 kids.
It's 2 or 3 loads a night. But yeah, it's and believe it or not, that's on my plate these days. So, so that's my wife went back to work recently, and it's we've got a different dynamic, I guess. So
you know what's kind of neat though? I think for people to understand that you may be a president and CEO of PUC Services, but all in all, you're a father and a husband and a homeowner and a resident just like the rest of us.
And I'm a hockey dad, and I'm a gymnastics dad, and a karate dad, and all the other things that you can imagine. So no, I think at the end of the day, the PUC is a community asset, and the people who work there are part of the community, and that includes everybody from myself to the rest of the management team and down into everyone.
Oh, Rob, I was talking to off camera to you about whenever early morning driving around, seeing some of the PUC crews out in the freezing cold or in the pouring rain doing those work on roadways or lines or whatever, and I just think, better you than me, buddy. Thank you so much, and to all of those workers.
You know, Tim.
And those emergency situations that we have here in the flooding and stuff.
Very recently, we had 2 major windstorms where crews were out evenings, weekends. Some of them worked actually almost 24 hours. It was incredible, the effort that they put in order to try to get people's power back on. And you know, when I first started in January, we were going through. There'd been some cold spells, and we had some water main breaks, which I think was what you're referring to with respect to the water. And I had no idea how involved those were, but I mean, those crews work again through the night, minus 20, minus 30 degrees, water spraying so that it maintain positive flow, so we don't have to have boiled water advisories. They just do an unbelievable job. And you know, I think one of the things that we've committed to try to do is to make sure that people are aware of some of the sacrifices that those folks make. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Hey, well, thanks for being on the show. Now, you're going to stick around. We're going to finish this interview, and we're going to tape a second segment that we're going to air on another day.
Sounds good.
And you're not going to want to miss what we have to say about the smart grid and some of the other stuff that's happening in Sault Ste. Marie. Phenomenal projects on the PUC's plate. So stay with us on Mornings with Luann and Tim, and tune in again on Monday to find the rest of the interview with my new friend Rob Brewer. We'll be right back after this.
She's got Betty Davis eyes. She'll let you take her home.
You might think I'm foolish, maybe it's untrue. You might think I'm crazy. All I want is.
This is not Luann Young.
No, I'm not.
You're Susan Ryamaki.
I know, and from the.
Did you know?
Did you know you had a guest today, Tim?
No, I did not know. So we finished the first opening banter, and then I go back to the green room while that tape was playing of the PUC interview, and there's my friend Sue sitting there going, "Did you know that you booked me on the show today?"
Because I found out that there was no guests, but, you know, apparently you do.
Well, now you're important, so I gave you time.
I appreciate that so much.
Well, you came all the way in, baby.
Yeah, I love this.
I love you.
This.
So, my friend Sue Ryamaki works for the YMCA. What is going on? You're here to promote some stuff.
I am. Like my shirt says. Did you know? Did you know that the YMCA is one of the oldest charities around? You know?
No, I thought I was one of the oldest charities around. But how long has the YMCA been around? Does anybody know the answer to that question?
Over 100 years.
It looks good, doesn't it?
It does look good for over 100 years. But our local Y doesn't receive any kind of funding from the governments or anything like that.
No government programs to support the YMCA?
Well, we apply for grants,
but there's no ongoing funding.
No ongoing funding. We don't get United Way funding.
No.
So we rely on the kindness of the community. You know?
And memberships.
And
donations and fundraising.
Absolutely. So we do events. And that's what I'm here to talk about today.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I'm here to talk about our Holiday Bazaar on Sunday.
The Holiday Bazaar?
Our second annual.
Oh, I think we have a poster. A holiday bazaar is taking place where?
At the YMCA.
That's a good place for it to take place
This
since it's
Sunday.
called the YMCA.
Yeah, this Sunday in our gymnasium. We have 22 local vendors that are going to be there in the gymnasium from 10 until 3 p.m.
Oh, there's the poster. It's up right now.
Yeah,
So, okay,
yeah.
from 10 to 3 at the YMCA at the gymnasium. That's going to be a big setup, eh?
It is a big setup. It is a big setup.
What kind of vendors are there, Sue?
Oh, I've got some. I've got a Watkins representative. I've got.
What's Watkins?
It's all these spices and healthcare products and whatnot.
Oh, I've heard of them.
Yes.
They've been around for a long time,
They
too.
have.
Okay.
They have. I have a whole bunch of artisans that coming with their ornaments. I have a rag
like
rug
Christmas
person.
ornaments and
yes.
stuff?
And Christmas cards, and I have baking and cooking and whatnot vendors. I have a makeup vendor. We have Tupperware. What would a bazaar be without Tupperware vendors?
You need Tupperware at Christmas time to put all your baking in.
That's right. Absolutely. And then also what's happening that day is our Strong Kids Dream Draw.
Oh, you guys in your Strong Kids campaign. The Strong Kids
Yeah.
are amazing. Can you just briefly address what's the goal of Strong Kids is, Sue?
The Strong Kids campaign
Yeah.
is simply a fund that we try and raise so that every kid can experience the YMCA regardless of financial, anything.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, absolutely.
How do we help with the Strong Kids Dream Draw?
Well, you can come by the YMCA up until Sunday at 2 p.m. when the draw is.
Oh, so we're going to come to the bazaar.
Yes.
Shop and buy a ticket. $5 a ticket or 3 for 10.
3 for 10.
Do you have any on you?
I do.
Oh,
I
I'm
do.
buying 3 for 10 today.
And first
You
prize.
should too.
And first prize is a $5,000 travel voucher.
You know where we're going?
Absolutely.
Back to the Dominicans, Susie and me, if we win that one. Oh my gosh.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Oh,
And the
a $5,000 voucher?
Yes,
That's a lot of vacation.
it is. Second prize is
For North Star Travel and Tours, we should thank them.
Yes, absolutely. And the second prize is a family membership plus membership at the YMCA.
Valued at $2,274.19. That is also amazing. $3, 3 tickets for $10.
And then the final prize we got going on is 2 youth.
Searchmont Resort
Yeah.
6-pack lift ticket passes valued at $565. The YMCA is the place to be on Sunday.
It is. It is.
Buy your
indeed.
tickets. Buy your Christmas stuff. Are you going to be there?
I'm going to be there all day.
Who doesn't want to see my friend Sue?
Absolutely. Come and say hello to me, please. I'd love to see everybody.
And support the Strong Kids in the YMCA for all the great stuff they do.
Thanks, Tim.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here, Sue. And did you know that it's time for a commercial? You got one of Anika's husky hairs, too. It's time for a commercial break, and we'll be back with the news with Luann right after this.
I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa, I'm walking on sunshine.
Welcome to Women in the Wind. Did I say it right?
Yes, you did.
I did. Hello, Windy girls. Let me do some introductions. First of all, my friend Karen Zachary, my new friend Marianne Jerome, and my old friend Maria Catava. You are all members of a motorcycle club.
Correct.
Now, Women in the Wind is what?
Is the head organization.
So that's like an international
Correct.
bikers club.
They have a roughly 250 to 300 chapters.
Oh, that many chapters.
Internationally. So U.S.,
Yeah.
Portugal, Nepal is the most recent one, Great Britain, Australia. So it's almost like having a built-in CAA for us if we
Wow.
traveled, right?
Because
So-
wherever you go, whatever city you're going to, you can find out whether or not there's a chapter there.
Correct.
And
Right.
do they
And
offer? Tell me what happens. Let's say, for instance, you go to a city where there's a chapter. Maria, have you done this?
Well, you can contact people ahead of time, or if you have trouble, like if you break down, or maybe your motel broke through or something like that, you just have to contact somebody, and next thing you know, you've got this posse coming to meet you, and they take you to somebody's house. Yeah, it's really cool. Or even if you're just going through, you can meet them for lunch or something.
Marianne, how did you get into motorcycles? when did that start for you?
Well, when I was probably 13.
No.
Yeah.
Come on. Are you from the Sioux originally?
No,
Where are you
I'm from Alberta.
Okay.
My whole family is into motorcycles.
Yeah.
My brother he certifies the RCMP riders out west.
Ooh.
And I've been on it pretty
All
much all. I quit for quite a few years.
Did you?
But yeah.
Why, were just getting just where you lived and stuff, not enough time, or?
No, I had a major accident.
Did you? But you recovered
I recovered thanks to my son.
and you got back on the horse
Yes.
again.
Oh, yes.
You gotta get right back on the horse.
On those horses.
Karen,
yes.
what about you? How long have you been riding motorcycles?
I started at 40, so I want to say probably it was a midlife crisis, and I'm 56. So, and I can remember taking the course at Sioux College, and I came home and I said to my husband, "Oh, I want a motorcycle." And he said, "You're not getting a motorcycle." And I was like, "Yeah, see, if you had said, I really don't want you to get a motorcycle because I'm afraid you're going to get hurt," then I probably wouldn't have got a motorcycle. But then it was like game on because
Because he just said no.
he said no. So, and by the next year I had a motorcycle, and yeah.
16 years, right?
16
Maria, how
years.
long for you now?
Oh, let me think. I think I was 52 when I got my license.
Holy smokes, you guys.
Yeah, it was kind of a bucket list thing. I'd been a passenger for years, and I just decided, I think I want to have the reins. So I took the course and got a bike that year, and then met Karen coming through customs one day, and yeah, and then it's just been ever since then.
So who started the? Okay, so Women in the Wind is the international organization of the club. Then you have your own chapter.
Correct.
And the name of your chapter is Northern Curves of Steel. There they are. Well, it's on behind us too. The Northern. Oh, look, there you all are. So when did you form Northern Curves of Steel?
So, interesting story about that. Every August, the third weekend in August,
Okay.
they have Lady Biker Day in Boyne.
Okay.
So Maria and another lady, Debbie Mancuso, and myself we'd been going every year. So we went down, and on the one day it had rained. So we got to meet all the women, and Becky Brown, who's the founder of Women in the Wind, was there.
She was there.
She was there. She's quite fascinating. She's been all over the world on motorcycles. So she founded the Women in the Wind in 1979.
That long ago.
Fascinating to listen to, yes. So there was a draw, and Debbie, our other friend, won a free membership, like for the year, to Women in the Wind. So we had all went back to the room. I fell asleep, and these two were talking, and the next morning I wake up and they're like, "So we're starting a motorcycle chapter." And I'm like,
See what happens when you doze off?
where was I?
Yeah.
And they were like, "Well, you fell asleep, so we decided we're going to form a new motorcycle chapter up at home." And you needed 3, so there was the 3 of us, and we went home.
No
And it was
kidding.
September we started that. And
How did you reach out to the other right? Because there's a lot of you. How many of you are in this chapter here in the Sioux, the Northern Curves of Steel?
About 10 of us. 12.
No
Yeah. It was 10, between 10 and 11, depending on.
How did the outreach happen? Just you each had friends? Like
Some
how
of
did
us
you?
had friends.
You went from
Yeah.
3 to 10.
Yeah, you word of mouth. Word of mouth. Yep. You know, and so you tell somebody, and then they say, "Oh, well, I have a bike. I'd like to join
I
you too."
feed her quite often, so.
I was sick at the time, and I was going into Tandoori, and she works at Tandoori, and I'd be like, "So I ride a motorcycle." She's like, "So do I." I'm like, "Awesome! You should be riding with us." So and that's how
Come
we met.
December,
Yeah.
that's. Yep.
So now here you are, the 10 of you are all together, and you've got this chapter now, Northern Curves of Steel. And one of the things that I guess a lot of these different chapters do is fundraising.
Correct.
For their communities. So you decided to do the same thing, raise some funds,
Yes,
and you chose to raise money for?
The pediatric wing of Arch.
I love it. We've
Yes.
been there. We did a whole ONNtv thing on getting a tour of the facility. When it first opened up, we were invited. Isn't it incredible?
It's
Guys,
amazing. Yeah.
what they do for the families up there, the support that they lend, and the environment, and the way they design that room so the bed can go right out of the room into the yard, out to the
Yep.
property and stuff. They've taken everything into consideration. Bedroom in the room so the parents can stay, pull out couches, rooms across the hall. Just they thought of everything. So I think it's a great cause. How are we raising money, ladies? Oh, little calendar. Not a little calendar. Kavana did the photography.
Yes.
We love her, don't we?
Anna is
Doble.
fabulous.
Yep.
And she took your pictures in many different locations. This is the one we already saw on the large screen. Where was this done? Whose garage is this?
So a girl we ride with, her husband builds bikes, and it was cool, right? We couldn't get our bikes out, so we were trying to get a picture done. So that's his bike, and he's got a great garage.
He does.
Anna was more than thrilled to take us up there, and it was an awesome location just with the tools, and it gave us a lot of props for girls that wanted to do their own pictures that day. And
Does Maria,
it was great.
no, not Maria. Who's this lady who posed in that garage
So
as
it
well?
was, that's her husband's
Yeah.
garage.
So that's her husband's garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great shot.
She's
Yeah.
amazing.
Okay, we've got some other, one of my favorites, Karen, and you said it's also one of your favorites, is the one that was done outdoors in the evening. Here it is. Look
Yeah.
at this
Yeah,
beautiful
that's
picture.
Purvis
This is done
was-
Purvis's?
Yeah, Purvis was very generous letting us go out onto their docks. It was kind of eerie, like you kept expecting Tony Soprano to come around at any minute.
And look,
As it got
Marianne,
darker, yeah.
Marianne, before she got her hair cut, Marianne doing her pose, I love, also in the garage. So the curves of steel, curves being that you ladies have lovely curves, but also so do your bikes.
And the highway.
And
the highway. That was one of the main reason we picked curves.
Really, because of the highway?
The highway is just
Like taking a curve is so amazing. Oh my goodness.
So wait, so these calendars, $15 each or two for $25. Perfect for Christmas gifts, stocking stuffers. As you can see, I'm wearing, Maria, thank you for the loan of your jacket.
You're welcome.
I'm going to just turn around here so you can see the back of the jacket. How about this there? What's it say in the back? Does it say women in the wind?
Women in the Wind.
wind.
Northern Curves of Steel
Maria, I
chapter.
love it.
And that lights up like it's a fluorescent
reflective,
Look at
logo.
Maria's helmet. Isn't that a beauty? Look at this. Ah, Maria, my little cougar.
Well, if you're going to be a chick on a bike, you might as well look like one.
You
She's
might
not
as
a
well.
cougar, she's a cheetah.
Cheetah.
Because she goes fast. She does
Fast.
everything. Like
What's the furthest you've ever biked, traveled on your motorcycle on a trip?
On my own, I've been down to, Tennessee, Virginia, Blue Ridge Parkway,
Wow. Did
Carolinas.
you go with her down to the Carolinas or something?
we went down, yeah.
Yeah.
She has a cousin in South Carolina. We've stayed with her.
And then talk about curves. What was that other one that you did where you
The
said?
Tail of the Dragon.
Did you do that one?
Yes.
Yeah, she's my riding buddy.
Yeah.
We do a long trip every year. or
Every
two.
year we pick a long
How come you
trip
don't
to
take
do.
Marianne with you?
Well, work tends to
Yes.
interfere.
Yeah.
So
it
Tail of
does.
the Dragon was how many kilometers?
It is an 11-mile stretch
11
of road.
mile.
Yep, through the Smoky Mountains, and it's got 318 curves.
Holy
318 curves in an 11-mile stretch.
And it's all going up a mountain
yes.
and no guardrails.
No. It's. I mean, if you go over, you go down.
Lots of
Never mind curves
lots of
steel.
memorial
How about
sites.
nerves of steel, you ladies. Okay, this is a phenomenal thing that you've done. Lemon Printing helped you out.
Yep.
Yes.
I see also you've got some amazing sponsors.
Yes.
They're
very generous.
I can't even name them all. They're all in the back. All of these amazing community partners who helped you guys out, who support you, and who support the Arch Hospice for the pediatric program. Listen, where do we get these now? Okay, we're recording this actually just before Halloween, which is why we're still decorated for Halloween. On Halloween night, no one's going to know this. It'll have happened already. You're going to be at the Greyhound game.
Correct.
Selling your calendars. But you're going to be popping up in other locations throughout the community. Can you tell me where and when, Karen?
So we have 2 dates in the mall. One is Black Friday, which is the November 23rd.
Beautiful.
And we have all day now. I'm not sure how we'll be there all day, but we'll be there a good chunk of the day.
All right.
And it's open till 11 o'clock that night.
That's November 23rd in the mall.
Correct.
Okay, then you're going to go back to the
It's
mall when?
On December 7th. And it will be there from 9 in the morning till 9 at night. And both times will be in front of VB Games.
Okay, great
So
to know.
that's important to know, so you're not looking all over the mall.
Know
for us.
exactly where to find you.
yeah.
And
You have other Greyhound games coming up where you're
yes,
going to be there? Perfect.
November 18th
Yeah.
and November 9th.
Oh,
and
December 9th, rather.
December 9th, sorry. And they're both Sunday games.
Oh.
And we're in front of section 106. So, you're
So
not
bring
looking
your
all over.
$15 for one or $25 for two. Bring your money and be prepared to buy these fantastic calendars as Christmas gifts or for yourself. Buy two. Keep one for yourself and give one away. And of course, all of the money goes to the Pediatric Arch program.
100% of the proceeds
Yeah.
go to Arch.
100%.
total proceeds.
And
Yes.
that's because of all these amazing partners
We
and
don't
Lemon
keep- we
Printing
don't
and
keep a
Cavana.
cent.
Yeah,
We
we're
don't
not
keep
keeping a
anything.
cent of
You
it.
guys,
Yeah.
this is thank you so much for taking the time to
Yeah.
come in and visit us.
Thanks for having
Marianne, it
us.
was so nice meeting meeting you.
You too, Tim.
Yeah, and so best of luck on the bike. Stay safe.
Oh, yes,
I know you will
always.
now. Yes.
Yes.
And come back again when you have, maybe we could get you back on in the new year just for one last push in case you have any left
yeah.
over.
Okay.
If you have any left over in the new year, come back. We'll do this
Awesome.
again.
That'd be great.
Come back anytime.
Okay.
Definitely.
And bring the jacket. I love it.
It looks dashing on you.
We'll bring
thank
the
you.
bikes.
Bring the bikes.
We could have today.
Okay, well maybe we can do an outdoor shoot next time. Okay, we'll be back with more Mornings with Luann and Tim right after this, but my thanks to Women in the Wind, Northern Curves of Steel.
Going up to the spirit in the sky. It's where I'm gonna go when I die. When I die and my name is to rest, I'm gonna go to the place that's the best.
And welcome back. Just before we leave, we want to remind you, you have to set the clocks
Back. Fall back.
fall back. So Saturday night when you go to bed, also a really good time to do your CO detectors and your smoke detectors. You can check the batteries, make sure everything's good there. Yeah.
That was great. Good for
And then
you.
we get to sleep an extra hour.
At to sleep in on Sunday, and you're going on vacation, my
on
friend.
holiday.
I will miss you
Yes.
next week.
Thank you very
Have a fabulous time with
I
your
will.
daughter and
I
your
will.
husband and all the kids. What about Michael? Is he going to be?
Yeah, everybody's going to be there.
Fantastic. And I'm going to be here in Sault Ste. Marie, so let's have a great weekend here while she
Yeah.
goes away.
Have
and
a
we'll
great one.
see you next week with Riley on Mornings with Luann and Tim and Riley on ONNtv. Have a great weekend, everybody.